Hi Hal here with more Space Engineers, yay! And as you can probably tell, I am in the middle of a platinum mine. I've been down here for a little while. Show you what's going on. Yeah, we're about 100 meters, about 100 meters down, I think. Oh, see if we can...
Energy low.
No, let me out. Hey, there we go. Currently not under pirate assault, which is good for the most part. But we're still looking for uranium because, yeah, we had to make a few updates to the ship. We'll talk about all that. First, we have to get started, so let's go. So happy Monday, everybody. Hopefully you had a fantastic weekend and are having a terrific day thus far. So, yeah. Well, I am sitting here in the cockpit. Just to show you. Basically, we ran into a situation that, I had been thinking about ahead of time. And if you remember, I had said I wanted to put a reactor on this thing at some point. Because we actually ended up adrift for a short period of time while we were waiting for the jump drive to recharge. It basically killed my batteries, so I had to turn that thing off, set the batteries to recharge, and basically I was lucky that I was in the sun when it happened. The hydrogen thrusters really don't take any power, so there was enough of a trickle charge coming in that I was able to bring the ship to a stop and build enough of a charge to get the gyros online, so I could basically track the sun, so that we had enough power to get us. I think I got my battery charge up to like 10% or something like that. Was able to get down to one of the stations, recharged. We parked so that the ship would be able to pull sun while it was at the station, because as you know, most of the stations don't actually let you pull power on them. It's one of the options that you can disable. So we were fairly lucky in that regard. Now, as far as settings are concerned, Orks were enabled last time, cataclysmic meteors were enabled last time, and this Friday we will be going up to the Armageddon, I think is what it's called. Basically, it's you get a ridiculous number of meteorites every time that they spawn, and they spawn pretty quickly, so we'll see. What I'm doing right now is I basically have been searching for platinum, and I'm not really making waypoints on it because I'm not planning on staying here long. In fact, let's go ahead. And we are looking, okay, so the RVTR, that is where we're heading. And let me show you why, because we found when we got down to the surface of this place, we encountered a couple of different traders. And so these guys were actually going to go hit up for resources, mainly because of the fact that they have the gases. So we'll be able to refill our hydrogen. Not that it's a huge thing right now, because we're basically circling an ice moon. And so what I've been doing is I've thrown a couple of hydrogen engines on board. And so now that we have a bit of power, I can turn those on and basically get enough power to charge everything and keep us flying. But the problem is that we burn through a lot of hydrogen doing that. Magnesium, I don't think we need any of the other stuff right now, but what we're going to have to do is at some point we're going to head back to Triton, head back to our original base, process the platinum that we have, and that way we can get our ion engines online. And I'm thinking we may end up doing a a remote base. Like we may put something on the moon, or we may maybe head over to the Earth-like planet. Somebody was saying, and I still have not been able to confirm this or not, but that the alien world has uranium on it. And so I'm probably going to do that at some point this week. And what we'll do is we'll start making plans around the idea of upgrading the ship. But I want to get the large ion thrusters online first. That way, if we have to run, it's always nice to have a little bit more oomph in your steps. All right, so let's turn on. That didn't help a whole lot. How? Okay. Silver's back that way. So if we swing this, let's see, if we swing this thing this way, is that going to be close enough? I'm wondering if we're going to be able to set this thing down. I probably should put a couple of sensors on it and have it do some voxel detection so we can tell if we're gonna crash into things when we go to set this beast down somewhere. Okay. So what we're trying to do is figure out the line for the landing gear. I may need to back this up just a little bit. And we're waiting to see if that landing gear turns green. Back up a little bit more. All right. Come on. Are you seriously not going to lock in on us there? Alright, let's see if we can get this thing. Nope. Alright, so where's the silver at? Silver is right there. It's within 30 meters. 10 meters either way isn't really going to do too much for us. Or to us, so I should say. Alright. And I need the silver more than I need most of the other things except maybe platinum. And let's see if we can get this thing. Hey, there it goes. Finally locked in. Okay. Oh, crap. At some point, I'm just going to throw a sensor, like, in here somewhere, maybe like directly above this thing. Oh, and have it set up so that if you're in here, it opens this block up. Oh. Alright. Should be close enough to the surface that if we head down this way, I think it was over here, right? There it is. Okay. Now we do have Bob turned on so that he will do the minor repairs for us while we're doing this stuff, as long as we have the materials on board to do them. But I do think the only thing that we're really missing at this point. Come on. Wow, that's a really small thing of silver. There it is. The other thing we're really missing at this point are things like gold and silver, platinum, obviously, and then uranium. Once we have uranium, if I can find a good source of that, we'll be able to put a small reactor on board, and basically our power problems go away. But we do need to seriously consider starting to expand the ship out a little bit, so that we can put a full refinery on it. Now that's going to require us to basically post up someplace and see if we can find a enough material around to make those upgrades. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here, mine out a bit more silver. I'm actually going to try and get as much of this out of here as I can. If anybody shows up to cause us problems, I will bring us back, but I think we're going to do a quick cut, get some of this mining done, and yeah, we'll see where we are when we come back. We'll be right back. And we are back. Okay, so, yes, we're using Bob to pick up stuff. So, let's head up here. I have no clue how much stuff I just mined out of there. But it's just basically trying to keep as much of it going as we could. Let's go cargo. 18K. I don't think that's all of it. 50K. Yeah, so 50K, not too bad. Let's... Oh. There we go. Close that off, wait for it to all figure itself out. That's, I don't know what it is about that door, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Alright, so now before we take off again, looks like everything is still copacetic. Yeah, okay, so we look like we're okay. RBTR is where we're heading. Alright, so I want to check. Let's see what we've got for ore. Well, actually, what is that? It's cargo. Okay, so let's move you over here so we can see. We are going to move that down, and move that down. Okay, so we've got a little bit of uranium. I actually ended up buying some of that off of one of the stations. I don't remember which station now. So the one we got the hydrogen on. I went ahead and spent a little bit for it because we ended up selling some of our inventory. Stuff that I wasn't really too worried about, you know, things that are really easy, like the iron-based stuff, mostly. So we've got a little bit of cobalt left. Got no magnesium. Well, we've got some magnesium. So yeah, we need cobalt, we need gold. And we're gonna need probably, I want to say 100K of platinum. So we'll keep our eyes open for that on the way over to that beacon. But realistically, I think gold and platinum are probably the only two things we'll stop for if we find it. I know we are, like I said, I know we are running a little bit low on cobalt, but I'm not too worried about that because it's realistically it's easy to get. But yeah, like I said, I think the big thing I'm looking for is platinum. Alright, so we're gonna head over this way. So let me know if you see some platinum pop up. Silicon magnesium. And for those who like to fly in first person, there you go. Oh, we just passed gold. Oh crap. Hey, platinum too. Go backwards. So we got gold in front of us. We've got gold over there. And we got platinum over here. So let's head over to the platinum first, because that is That really is our major concern. Alright. So it looks like platinum is, we can get to a little bit easier in the valley here. Alright, so trying to figure out where is going to be the best approach for platinum. So I think this area here is actually not bad. Alright, so if we do say that. $140 it's actually not too bad. And I think we're gonna need to slide you. Let's see if we can get that to lock. Nope. All right. So if we go there's a fairly large flat space here-ish. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get that within about 150 of Bob, because if we can keep it within about 150 meters of Bob, Bob will actually be able to come down and grab it for us. Come on, Bob. Come on, dude. Lock in. You know you want to. Hey, it's locked. Okay. Now the question is, are we going to be able to get out of this thing? I hate that sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so we can get out of here. And platinum was... You know what? As much as I hate to do this, because you know this is going to come back and bite me in the backside. Oh. Do I have... I could put a big antenna dish up on top. I thought I had the little antennas loaded. You know what I might do is, since I don't have, I really don't want to put a giant antenna on this thing. So let's do this. We're gonna cheese it a little bit. Grab a regular rotor. This, want that, get that out, and we're going to go, what? Alright. And you are, you can't put it, we can't place it. Okay, perfect. That actually does work out. All right. And so this is really, really cheesy, but we can do this. If the game, if you had to work around the game to get it to do this right? I'd say no. Now, wrong one. Okay, so antenna. We want you to enable broadcasting. 5K out. Hey, look at that. It works. No one tell Keen. Oh, before I forget, we want that to need to lock that rotor into place. We want you to share tensor, and we want you to lock. There we go. Okay. Now, the reason we do that is so that we can see that. All right. Come here, buddy. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, now that you've seen how I'm finding this stuff, I'm going to do another quick cut, and when we come back we should be at the other base unless something attacks us between now and then. If that happens, I'll bring you back for that, but otherwise, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and mine this stuff up and get it on board, hopefully get over there safely. We'll find out. Be right back. And we're... there we are. And we're back. Oh, alright. So we have mined a whole lot of stuff out. We'll run you through it here in a second. I want to see... We've basically just pulled into the station. So I want to see what they've got available in the actual trade location. Because the little vending machine's only going to be a subset of that, so... Okay, so we have hydrogen and oxygen we're not too worried about. I would really like to get some of the tier 3 tools online. 5% discount, that's not bad. He's got 8 of those. I think we're gonna buy 3 more of those, and so that'll give us 4 in total. And what we're going to do is, when we head back to the base, or if we create a new base someplace, we'll end up having a couple of guys out that'll be able to help defend the base from, you know, whatever may happen to wander a bit too close. And if we really like them, we can always pick up a few more. So proficiency grinders, and zone chips. Okay. So we're not going to use any of the zone chips, because that's no fun. For those who don't know, basically each one of these zone chips gives you, I want to say, an hour of the same protective bubble that you get here. Now, we do have shields enabled, so we can actually build defensive shields, but we're not going to worry too much about that. It's another one of those things we need to refine platinum for. Alright, so let's head out here really quick. You are a pirate version of the freighter, so I don't think you're going to get close enough to get wrecked by the ship. Okay, FCIV. Have we gotten close enough to identify those guys? Vehicles. And who's the other one over there with them? RVTR, which is the traders. And I think that's the Earth-like planet up there. That should be the alien world, and we are in orbit of the moon for the Mars. We're actually on the other side of it now. The Mars-like planet is on the far side of the moon that we're currently in orbit of. Alright. So... okay. Ow, that was almost painful. Oh, let's close that. See, I don't know what it is about that door. I don't want to put in the full block because the full sliding door sits out here. So if we have, basically if we have that door in here to do an airlock with, we won't be able to get past it to get into this cabin. So, alright. Okay, so basically we're at the point right now. We're going to talk about inventory. First off, I had to fix one of the engines. Which surprisingly I don't have in a group yet. So we're going to do H2 engines. Oh. So close. I'm so used to saying engineers all the time. I don't know. Alright, so we're going to turn those guys on. You're both at 100%. And we're going to go for you guys. We're going to set you to recharge temporarily. Max output, max input. Alright, now if we look at our tanks, we should see hydrogen burning. It is burning faster than we can create it, which is what we expect. You are turned on, you are turned on. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're basically charging up our batteries here. And it's going to take those about 11 minutes. So let's head up here for a second. And let's talk about our next steps. Alright. So as long as we have, ice on board and we can keep our hydrogen tanks full, we're going to be able to keep the ship powered. So I technically don't need a reactor on board. But as you can tell, I did go ahead and put a wind turbine on there so that when I'm on a planet or even a moon, something that doesn't technically have atmosphere, you're getting some kind of charge off of it just to help ease the burden of the solar panels and batteries. But what we're talking about for future here, I do want to get uranium, and I do need to get platinum. Well, we've got a bunch of platinum, but I'm going to need to get more because we're 76K or something like that right now, which is enough to get started, and it should be enough to be able to finish these two large thrusters. But the question is do we want to go ahead and start expanding this ship? Because what I'm thinking is that we could find an asteroid, see if we can find a largish asteroid, preferably in deep space away from any of the planets, that we can take over and start turning into a base. That would allow us to basically have a way station that we can work from and bring materials back to in order to process. Now, if we do that, we're going to have to find very specific things here. We're going to need the asteroid to have ice nearby. We're going to need it to have a crap ton of iron, preferably a crap ton of ice as well. And then either uranium or large amounts of other resources. If it doesn't have uranium, we need to be able to find uranium and have a way to get to and from the uranium back to that base. What I may end up doing is if we can find an asteroid with a uranium deposit on it near iron, preferably uranium and ice, or iron and ice as well, we can start, we'll basically be able to build a base at that location. I guess technically we could build a station in orbit somewhere. because we've got everything but uranium in near proximity right here on this moon. And that's going to be true for all of the moons. But I'm wondering does it make sense for us to build, basically go out, there you go, over there, in order to build a way station somewhere in orbit of the alien world, preferably somewhere nearby where we can find uranium on the world if it's actually there. But I'm not sure. And see, that's what I'm left thinking about at this point. Because I mean, with enough batteries, we could actually make everything survivable just off of having a station somewhere that gets enough sun to keep batteries topped up, that we can go in, basically drain all the power out of the station, go do what we need to do, come back, drain all the power out of the station. It's actually easier to do on planets because of wind power, but that also means we have to make a ship that's capable of transatmospheric flight. And since we were saying we're going to basically start expanding on the ship that we have, that's why I'm thinking it probably makes more sense to do something deep space rather than having it be something on a planet or a moon. Because we go to Earth, like, man, I really wish they'd put the platinum or uranium back on the moons. And I know that there's a mod that'll do it, and I don't want to use that. Alright. I may have to turn the economy off on the save because I think it's keeping the orcs from spawning. Because basically what happens is the AI, the encounters, there's a list of factions on there, and there's a percentage chance whenever, you know, the encounter ticker goes off, it says, okay, spawn something, and it runs down a list. And the hostile AI gets a pendant. My understanding is the hostile AI gets a pendant to the back of that list and has its own percentage chance of spawning. And so what it does is it starts at the top of the list, works its way down until it gets a yes, this is true. It would be nice if it actually would pick up, like, resume the list where it left off. But with having the economy turned on, we're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, like 16, 17-ish. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 factions this time around. So basically it has to go through the entire list here and then start picking up a hostile AI. So what I may do is I may either change the encounter mod, or not the encounter mod, but change the encounter list. It will probably take the ship traders out. So these kind of guys, take those. We'll leave the factions in, but we'll take them off of the encounters and see if that helps us get some more of the hostile AI in here. Because right now the only thing we've been getting are pirates, and some of that's because the pirates just kind of randomly spawn anyway. But yeah, so I think that's what we're going to do for this week. Okay. Short-term plans. I'm kind of tempted to just start heading out that way and see what happens between here and there. But that's going to be for next time. For this time, I want to thank you all for stopping in. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to throw those down in the section below. And if you are new to the channel, haven't done so already, but you enjoyed the content, make sure you hit that subscribe. Not only do the likes, the comments, and subscriptions actually help me to know that you're enjoying the content, it helps YouTube know that you're enjoying the content, and that's probably more important. Oh, anyway, we're going to get out of here. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Enjoy your week, and we'll see you back here next time for more Space Engineers. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Okay, so we're going to let the tanks fill up. I think we're... How much ice do we still have? We should have a bit of ice left, right? Yeah, we got a little bit of ice left. I'll probably drop down, pick up a couple 100K of ice. Are we still burning? I think just realized. I think we may still have the hydrogen engines on. Oh, they are. That would explain it.